in the long run. Number two is a public asset. We gave them the land that they are using to construct the road. That's not just enough, that also the other road, which is another problem we'll come to deal later with, is, Mr. Speaker, the road below has been destroyed and has been left, Mr. Speaker, in a more dilapidated stage. Again, there was a fund that was supposed to be given by the government of Kenya to ensure that the roads are restored, because the utility, the people who are in charge of the utilities, the water, the internet and so forth, Mr. Speaker, in the process of relocating those utilities, it messed up the road. I really fear that if it rains soon, we'll have a serious problem of flooding in Imara Daima and those areas, and corrective measures are being worked out by Kenya National Highway Authority to deal with that issue. On the question of financing, again, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah has raised a very important issue. In the short term, Mr. Speaker, we have a problem. Let me just say this: we have a problem. We are inheriting. This administration is inheriting nearly 140 billion shillings in the infrastructure sector, particularly the roads. Mr. Speaker, the reason why the roads have stalled is because we are unable to pay the contractors. And Mr. Speaker, the money to pay the contractors is not there, because we have committed that money to other sectors, Mr. Speaker, or maybe we chewed more than we could, we bit more than we could chew, Mr. Speaker. And so the problem here is that we are proposing, and the government of Kenya is proposing in its manifesto, that, Mr. Speaker, we will do securitization, but more importantly, and I think quickly, Mr. Speaker, we will use the road maintenance levy to, Mr. Speaker, guarantee a one-off, Mr. Speaker, a bond, infrastructure bond, that should be raised, pay off all the pending bills, and make sure that, in line with the plans we give the people of Kenya, we make sure that we complete the roads so that we achieve the equity we are talking about. We also want to safeguard, Mr. Speaker, this Parliament passed in the last, towards the end of Parliament, they passed a law to take more of the road maintenance levy to development. I think those are things we will sit down to review, because we must also, as we construct the roads, we must maintain. And let me use that opportunity, Honorable Kimani, to answer also the question of annuity. The annuity program, Mr. Speaker, was very unfortunate. The most unfortunate program that we ever implemented. The road from Ngong to Kiserian to Isinya, Kajiado there, Mr. Speaker, is 91 kilometers. Through annuity program, we are paying 28 billion, Mr. Speaker, to construct 91 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, this is ridiculous, because that road constructed conventionally, even with 80 million a kilometer, we would have used only 7 to 8 billion. It costs 500,000 shillings to maintain a road every year per kilometer. If you calculate for entire period of the 8 years that the annuity program will be managed, that road would only have cost, Mr. Speaker, 300 million to maintain. Now we've locked 28 billion every year on one road. We are paying 2.4 million to manage an annuity program. Mr. Speaker, I will scrap that program. If I am approved by this House, I will immediately scrap that program and have a conversation with the other two roads, Mr. Speaker, the one from Loitoktok and the other one in Modakashi, Mr. Speaker, moved to conventional way of constructing. It's even better to borrow than to engage resources in this annuity program. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, the last thing I was asked, I can see my time is far much spent, is that the issue of Aurora and Kimwarer, a very good question from my colleague. Mr. Speaker, I still believe that Aurora and Kimwarer was charges